Hi, my name is Alexis-Carlota Cochrane. I use she, they pronouns. I'm a researcher at McMaster. I study technology-facilitated gender-based violence. My research is specifically interested in gendered and sexuality-based digital harms, but also how feminist and queer approaches can allow for us to combat the digital harms that we experience on a day-to-day basis. Technology-facilitated gender-based violence is the use of technology to harm, to harass, or to abuse people on a base of gender expression, gender identity, or perceived gender. So it can include things like cyberstalking, online threats, non-consensual distribution of intimate images, deepfakes, as well as doxxing. And the interesting thing about TFGBV is while it reflects and reinforces existing patterns of gender-based violence, these digital forms of harm often occur in ways that are faster, more anonymous, and are harder to remove oneself in comparison to offline forms of gender-based violence. So when we think of technology-facilitated gender-based violence, we often picture online threats, cyberstalking, image-based abuse, or the creation of deepfakes. However, gender-based violence can also be networked through digital technologies. So we've increasingly seen this in things like message boards or forums that are used to share strategies to commit sexual, physical, and psychological violence against women and gender-diverse people. These are detailed how-to guides on how to commit both offline and online harms. So they're things like how to manipulate consent, how to avoid legal consequences, or how to use tech to stalk or control someone, how to create a deepfake. So these forms of networked violence, which are systems of harm that are created, maintained, or scaled online, don't actually just reflect misogyny, but they also actively spread it. It makes them a major threat to the safety of women, girls, and gender-diverse people, especially those that are Black, Indigenous, or people of color, both offline and online. Cybermisogyny refers to the use of digital technologies to express, enforce, and amplify hatred, hostility, and violence that's rooted in misogyny. It often targets women, girls, and gender-diverse people. It's a form of violence that uses digital technologies to perpetrate misogynistic attitudes and behaviors that are often rooted in sexist beliefs. These attacks can be overt, so things like rape threats, doxing, body shaming, and non-consensual sharing of intimate images, or things that are more subtle, so gaslighting, dismissive comments, and the undermining of credibility or expertise. So cybermisogyny often escalates when women or gender-diverse people speak out about political issues, gender equality, racism, or other forms of injustice, making it a powerful tool of digital gendered control. It also frequently interacts with things like racism, homophobia, transphobia, and ableism, meaning that women of color, queer and trans people, and disabled individuals are often disproportionately targeted. As digital technologies become more central to our lives, addressing cybermisogyny is essential for building inclusive, safe spaces that are accountable to the communities that they're serving. So it's crucial to center marginalized groups like women and gender-diverse people, people of color, queer folks, and disabled folks in conversations about technology-facilitated gender-based violence because they experience harm in layered intersectional ways. A digital safety strategy that might work for a white, cis, straight woman might not work or even be accessible to someone who's queer, disabled, or a person of color. People face different levels of risk and harm online depending on things like their race, their gender identity, disability, class, and more. But this also impacts who's protected online, especially on platforms. Centering those who are most impacted by TFGBV ensures that the response is equitable for everyone. Digital spaces should be safe for everyone to participate in, but they're not. This workshop dives into technology-facilitated gender-based violence, or TFGBV, a form of online hate that targets women, girls, and gender-diverse people, especially those who are Black, Indigenous, racialized, queer, trans, or disabled. You'll learn how TFGBV manifests online, you'll see real-world examples, and unpack how it's interconnected with systems of oppression like racism, sexism, and ableism. We'll also explore how power and privilege shape our digital lives, and we'll share practical strategies for support, advocacy, and prevention. Whether you've experienced TFGBV, you're supporting someone who has, or you just want to be a part of building a safer digital community, this session is for you. I love the internet. I grew up online. However, it's very apparent that digital technologies were not designed for everyone, and everyone experiences digital spaces in different ways. So I do this work because I'm committed to find strategies and solutions to digital harms that shape our online lives so that everyone can participate safely and fully. And I'm especially driven to support and empower those who are often silenced, excluded, or dismissed by the very infrastructures that claim to connect them. Ultimately, it's about building digital spaces that are rooted in equity, care, and collective accountability. The United Nations Population Fund found that almost 2 in 3 women globally have been subjected to TFGBV, and 85% of women have witnessed online violence being committed against another woman. The Canadian Women's Foundation found that in Canada, 61% of women and gender-diverse people have experienced gendered digital harm. Technology-facilitated gender-based violence is prominent. It's widespread, and it's deeply normalized as a form of digital harm that disproportionately affects women, girls, and gender-diverse people, especially those who are Black, Indigenous, racialized, queer, trans, or disabled. Whether it's online harassment, image-based abuse, surveillance, or algorithmic bias, these harms shape who feels safe enough to speak, organize, or simply exist online.